Hello, everybody. Welcome to Arsenal X Podcast. As always, we threw up the X. Yes, because we're about to throw down. I'm your host, ADV. Joining me is my wise Wisconsinite, Mr. Jesse Douglas.
How's it going, guys?
And also, Boss Man, the video producer, and head of Nerds Go Rogue Radio. And he's right here in the NGR studios. Mr. Corey Dirrig.
I'm here. Yay!
Yay! Hi, everybody.
I can't wait to play more Halo.
So, everybody, if you have not checked it out, we have started season 1 of Squad Goals, our kind of gaming platform for Jesse, Corey, and I. We do most of our gaming on Xbox. There's our debut episode where Corey's in Jesse's debut episode of Rainbow Six Siege, so you guys can go check that out on YouTube right now at Nerds Go Rogue Radio. Also, coming up will be the first episode of Corey, Jesse, and I playing Halo 4. And you have got to watch the shenanigans, hear the good discussions, and just fall out and just enjoy yourself in our different gameplay skills and kind of what we do to each other. Our latest episode is going to be another Rainbow Siege, and then we did part 2 of more Halo 4 gameplay. And this one, everybody, is a ball of fun and laughter.
Yeah.
You just have got to watch it when it drops. But that's all I can tease at the moment right now. But we're going to get into our show as always. And, what's been in our arsenal? I'm actually going to start with you, Corey. What's been in your arsenal?
Oh, boy. Well, Xbox-wise, I've played a little bit more Siege kind of on my own because I wanted to see how it would play out when Jesse's not telling me what to do and not being awesome at the game. And
I apologize. Hold on. I'm sorry, Corey. I apologize, Jesse. I haven't touched Siege because I'm busy with other stuff. So please forgive me. I will get to it. I love the gift that you gave me. So don't. So just to make sure that I will play it, just give me time.
No, I know.
I really love Siege. I really do. It's awesome. It's like if I don't really know how to describe it. It's kind of like if a military version of Overwatch that really forces you to be tactical. It's the only reason why I say it's like Overwatch is because each of the operators has special abilities and stuff. But that's literally the only comparison I think I'm going to make to Overwatch. It's just so much fun. I don't know any of the operators' names, and I try to learn what their special ability is as I'm playing, but I really like it. I really want to keep playing, and it's giving me that same feeling that when I first played The Division, I was like, I really like this game. I really like how it plays. I really like how it feels, and I really want to play more. I really, really do want to play more. It's so much fun. And then Halo 4 with you guys was just, it was so much fun last night. Oh, dude, we probably played for 3.5-ish hours last night. It was so good. It was so much fun. I've never had so much fun playing co-op in my life. It was just
sorry ahead of time for the bad jokes, people.
Yeah. Bad jokes or dad jokes?
I know nothing about dad jokes. I'm not a dad.
I'm taking notes from Jesse.
Wow.
That's probably not a good idea.
Or the best idea. Nah. But that's kind of it in terms of Xbox. There's a couple things I want to... Now that I've kind of settled into my new job and everything, I'm kind of on a schedule now. I know when I'm going to have time, when I'm not. And so, I'm going to try to play some more stuff this week. But Halo and Rainbow Six are just great games. Oh, and Jesse and I played one round of Fortnite, which was really fun until we were in this house and got smashed by a rocket.
Yeah, that was pretty bad end to it.
So, but that's about it. That's about all I've been playing.
All right. Jesse, what's been in your arsenal, dude?
Yeah, so we played some Halo 4. We did some Fortnite. I've been playing a little Call of Duty World War II. That lately has kind of been my go-to every once in a while.
Mm-hmm.
I played some more NFL 2K1 on my Dreamcast. And let's see, I played some Division for a good chunk of time last night, because I've been wanting to get back to that. And actually, I'm going to play that some more tonight too, and try to get my character powered up, because I'm a level.
I'll hop on
20.
with you.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Oh, I'm at level 30, so I'll hop on with you.
Okay, yeah, my friend Pat's gonna come over and bring his Xbox One over, so we can all team up, party up, and just you guys can help me out with like all the story things that I gotta do, like the big, like I gotta go to a bunch of the big areas where you gotta, to get the supplies or whatever to upgrade your main base or whatever.
Okay. Yeah.
I got a lot of those to do, so yeah. Playing that. I think that's pretty much. I've been playing the bridge construction.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah,
do you like it?
Yeah, I do. It's like I did not know whether I was gonna like it or not. Mm-hmm. Like when it first kind of got announced, and then I started watching some, like, I was just curious because I'm like, well, like, it could be one of those games that's just kind of, like something you just pick up and play a little bit every once in a while when you just don't feel like, playing any like hardcore games that take a lot of, time and stuff.
Yeah.
Just like a time killer, like a lot of people do with their phones. Like people will have little games on their phone or whatever. So I'm like, well, I should just, see if there's people streaming it or something, playing it online. Just check out some, gameplay videos of it and see if it's something I would be interested in. And so I was watching some videos of like, people playing it and having a lot of fun. And I'm like, it actually does look pretty fun. And and challenging. It's not easy. I'll be honest. Like the level I'm on right now, I don't know what to do. Like I refuse to cheat and try to find out how to beat it. Mm-hmm. But it, like, I honestly think it's harder to figure out some of the things. It's harder to figure those out more than probably Portal, the games, themselves. So
do you have to set everything first before you release the cars?
Yeah, basically. I mean, you can like release the car and like build things, like construct an area first. Mm-hmm. See how that goes, send the car through, see how it goes, and then if you think that's okay, then you can move on to the next because like as you go on the map, like the areas get more complex and there's more areas that you need to set, like build bridges and things like that to get them all the way through the obstacles.
Yeah.
So, I mean, some of the maps, have taken me a long time to try to, like figure out how to do it just perfectly. Because, like, in certain areas, you got to knock turrets over first before you can let the cars go through to the end. And things like that. And, and just like in the Portal games, you got those bouncing orbs of energy that you got to try to direct to the things so the switches work. And it gets really complex. But I'm having a lot of fun, so...
That's
but
cool.
I think that's pretty much it though so far that I've been playing. So
okay, that's cool. For me, started with Xbox One. About to restart Ori and the Blind Forest. I got to a certain point and then stopped playing it, so I'm about to go back from the beginning and just redo everything. That's gonna be my game focus for a bit. Sorry, everybody. um, knock the cord out. Sorry about that. That I'm gonna get back to playing that and trying to finish it up. Been playing Tomb Raider Definitive Edition. About 30% done with that game. I beat it before, but I'm just going and just enjoying that game. Trying to 100% on this one. Played Metroid 2030 Metroid Metro 2033 and DLC Devil May Cry on PlayStation 4. Also played Yakuza 0 and Next Machina.
How is Yakuza? Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but
it's pretty good. No,
because I've been really interested in playing Yakuza, and everybody's like Yakuza 0 is the one that you should jump in on if you really want to play.
It's good. Be ready for a lot of narrative, a lot of story, a lot of stuff being slow paced. Because you really gotta kind of wait for some things to progress. But yeah, it's really good. It's kind of fun to get into. I think with Yakuza 0, because it's a prequel on how the whole series is supposed to start, you'll be able to understand who the characters are. Do know that it's a lot of reading because everything is subtitled for it. But you like once you start playing the game, you kind of enjoy a lot of the battles and just stick with it and not power through it, but just like stick with it, because there's a lot of cutscenes and there's some times where you just got to put the controller down and just watch everything play out. But I think you will enjoy it. It's a fun game. I say catch it on the sale if you can. If not, then if you're up to picking it up, got some bonus money or something, pick it up.
Is that a game that's for both PlayStation and Xbox?
No, it's just PlayStation.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah, Sega somehow. Well, Sega Sony, I don't know if it's exclusive because Sega did bring the Yakuza 1 and 2 when they came on PlayStation 2. They brought it to Wii U, but only in Japan and not here in America. It's always been a PlayStation exclusive. So I don't know if
sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, go ahead.
That'd be really interesting. I didn't know they brought them to Wii U. That'd be really interesting if they brought maybe not 6, but 0 and Kiwami to Switch because those games are running on the PS3's engine.
Yeah, everybody's been telling Sega that they want the Yakuza series on Nintendo's console. So yeah, they could bring it to Switch. People been hyped up because when they announced it for Wii U, a lot of people in America were just like, "Oh yes, I'll finally be able to play the game," because it was a small print for 1 and 2, and so a lot of people never got to play it, and Sega decided not to bring it. So if they would have brought it to Switch, if they bring it to Switch, they would make bukus of money for it.
Yeah, it must just be one of those things, kind of like we've talked in the past, where they just feel like they wouldn't maybe sell as much in America, so they just don't really, go for Xbox or any kind of American.
Yeah, they don't. The Yakuza series don't sell big here, but I think because it's such, I think a lot of people realize that it's such a digital somewhat / physical game, meaning that they make more of their money digitally with it because there's not a lot of printed copies of the physical ones. You'll barely find a copy in store that's not used unless you go to GameStop and maybe Best Buy. But once they touch it down on the PlayStation, even for PlayStation 3, people was buying it digitally before they was going to buy the physical copies.
Okay.
So, and plus they barely price drop the Yakuza series for physical compared to the digital version. So, yeah, check it out if you're interested. So, for Switch, I did pick up Flint Hook. Oh, also picked up for you guys to see. Sorry.
Yes.
This is Naruto Shippuden.
Shippuden. Yeah.
Shippuden Ultimate Ninja Storm 4 Road to Boruto. I would say Road to Burritos. This one is complete edition. It has the Stormford game, season pass content, the new Boruto expansion pack, and bonus DLC. So I picked that one up, brand new copy. Can't really wait to install it and play it, and then put it to the side because I gotta finish everything else on my Xbox One. But yeah, and then really been digging Ever Oasis on the 3DS/2DS. Literally been putting a lot of my time in there and enjoying it, just like really having fun for it. So that's what's been in my arsenal. I think, Corey, did someone tell you that I play too many games? Like, how do I balance all these games?
Yeah, well, I forget what show it was on, but I said Ed probably has like 5 clones of himself. One plays all the games, one writes all the reviews, one goes to work for him, one is just his fast food guy who goes and gets him all of his food. So
yeah,
good times.
Yeah, I need to play. Yeah, I need the podcast and I need the write tomorrow. I got a lot of stuff. Of course, Power Block that you guys should also check out. Nintendo Power Block. Check out our Thursday episode, our latest episode. Me, Corey, and special guest Ray Asario. We covered the Nintendo Direct. Oh, and we had a very good discussion. Had some back and forth.
Some would say that discussion is still happening in our Facebook chat.
Yes, it is. But you guys really should check it out. Really, really had a good discussion. And also check the, our mini block. What me and Corey thought will be on there. I think you guys will really, truly enjoy that. Also, check out our second. I think by the time this video comes out, our second part of our expansion pass should be out. So me and Corey talk about our Metroid Helldivers or Metroidivers or whatever we want to call it. We do a part 2, but we actually stick to what if it was like a Prime FPS game, and we give some ideas about that. So really check that one out. And if not, you don't know what we're talking about, also check part 1. Hear that full discussion. Yeah. So, yeah, me and Corey recorded a lot of content. Dude, I was thinking about this. I was just like, we record more shows the same amount when I came down to see you. We did like 8 shows and we did like 3 days.
Hey man, I want to get stuff done. We gotta do stuff.
Yes. Wait till I come back. Well, the baby will be there by time. So
that's all right. That's why I got married. She can watch it.
Oh wow.
Oh.
But we're going to get into our Arson news, and we got 4 stories for you. And just to let everybody know, all of these stories are coming from Game Informer. You can check out their website, GameInformer.com. So we're going to get into
Way to plug one of the biggest websites in the world, Ed.
I'm loving Game Informer.
I know.
Some of the stuff, it's good. I love them.
I love Game Informer, and it's the biggest conundrum I have because, like, it's the same thing I have with Microsoft because, like, I love my Xbox. I love Xbox, but I hate Windows. Like, I hate Windows, right? And it's the same thing with Game Informer. I love Game Informer. I love listening to their shows. I watch replay religiously. I watch new gameplay today, like, almost daily. I try to watch, like, everything that they put out. And it's the same way. It's the same thing as Giant Bomb. Like, I try to watch everything they put out. But, like, back to Game Informer, I hate GameStop. And it sucks because Game Informer is owned by GameStop. And so,
yes.
And, like, GameStop really messed up my magazine subscription. So, like, I haven't gotten my 300th issue yet.
Yeah, I haven't got mine neither yet.
Okay. Well, I mean, okay. The last issue I got was God of War. Was that the last issue you got?
Yeah.
Okay. Well.
So I think, the 300 one should be coming out, I think, this week because I got my Wire magazine, which I got to I got to go and pay the subscription bill. I'll do that Friday. So I can renew my Wire magazine, which is a really good magazine. I love Wire.
Yeah. I was having this. It was funny because I was actually talking in a Facebook chat thread with Game Informer, the Game Informer show's host Ben Hansen, about like the Zune stuff, because like their big thing right now is like there's like 4 people that listen to the show on Zunes, and like it's I when they mentioned the double points for Zune people and their contest to have guests on, that was my idea.
Can I tell you, I preferred Zoom over an iPod.
iTouch. I have 3 Zunes, so I feel you. I had that original Zune, and then they had the nice one that like looked like it should have a touch screen, but it wasn't, which was amazing. And then I had to get the Gears of War 2 one. So
when did they make one of those? I didn't see
They made a Zune for Halo 3, and they made a Zune for Gears of War 2.
Nice. I love Zoom. Zoom was so easier to put your music on and manage. And
plus, you can play it through your Xbox without plugging it in.
Nice. Yeah, iPod had that circle crap, and it's just like, ugh, no.
Yeah, Zune was cool. I actually really liked the Zune, but I can't wait for all the comments that make fun of us for liking Zune.
Hey,
yeah, we have. My wife had a Zune too. We have one of those with the little mini screen, and then I have the small iPod that I really don't use anymore.
Yeah, I wish they would have like. That's something that Xbox could have done, and I know we need to get to our topics, but like, if Microsoft would have just branded Zune with an Xbox like logo type thing, like an Xbox Zune, and had that be like their mobile media player, where like you can play your music and podcasts and stuff on it, but you can also play Halo Spartan Assault, that twin stick shooter they put out, or like Lara Croft in the Temple of Osiris, or like Hitman Go, like the small mobile-y type games.
What was the one that on Zoom you could play your music, but it was can I think of it? It's a video game that needs your music to play, and you got points for it. And you was like in a spaceship, and you was on a track.
Frequency, amplitude.
I think it's amplitude.
Oh, okay. Yeah, amplitude and frequency were kind of the same thing, but it was just a like part 2. You know, like amplitude was part 2 of frequency.
Right. You used to set your tracks to it, and then when you'll see the ship going, and then your muzik player, you kind of had to tap and stuff for it to make the points and everything. Yeah. That would have been cool bringing it back.
The only thing is, I think that was a PlayStation exclusive. The amplitude and frequency were only on PS2.
They were on Zoom. They were like apps that you could download on Zoom.
Oh, okay. Well, then it must have been something different then, because amplitude and frequency were the games that were for PS2. But that's the only area that I know of that they were. I guess I mean, I don't know, unless they somehow weirdly did make it for Zune, but
yeah,
I've never heard of it.
I'm looking. Hold on. I'm looking. I'm gonna find it. Maybe not.
Oh, Audio Surf?
It could.
That sounds like a fake video game. I don't know.
No, yeah, it was Audio Surf. Not tap it, because you had to move the Zoom like that.
Okay. All right. But yeah, I mean, that literally sounds like a clone of amplitude and frequency. So that it's basically
it looks just like amplitude and frequency.
Yeah, because literally you were explaining amplitude and frequency.
Okay, I couldn't think, because amplitude and frequency, they were like big games music wise.
Yeah,
and I
still play them.
Yeah, I had thought they came to that was a game on Zoom.
Yeah, no, that they must have just made their own version of it, because those were PlayStation exclusives. The second amplitude that came out was exclusive, I think, was it PS4? Yeah, didn't it come out for PS4, I think?
I don't think so. It may have. I don't know.
They made Amplitude for PS4. It was kickstarted.
Okay. Yeah, I know that they had made a second one, but I couldn't remember if it was at the end of 3 or the beginning of 4, PS4, so.
Yeah.
But.
Okay. Well, we're going to get into our news.
Took us down a rabbit hole.
Sorry. That was a great discussion. No, Zoom was the bomb. I'm just saying. So, but we're going to get into our first topic. I don't know how we went from GameStop, Game Informer to Zoom. But that's how Arthur X goes.
We went there because of their contest and double points for Zoom. That's how we got there.
Ah, yes. Okay. Well,
all connected.
It seems that one of Xbox One's update is going to include FreeSync support, Twitter posting, and Mixer controller sharing. That's coming this spring. As part of its new Inside Xbox video series, Microsoft announced a number of updates coming to Xbox One later this spring, and Xbox Insider Alpha testers for the console can take these features for a spin right now. First, Xbox One S and X's will support displays with FreeSync, a TV and monitor technology that lets the monitor synchronizes refresh rate according to the game. This leads to less frame rate stuttering and tearing. All Xbox Ones will also support low latency mode, a feature in some TVs coming later this year that will automatically remove post-processing effects some TVs use to make images look sharper when games are being played, reducing input latency while playing games, then restore them when you go back to watch a TV or movies. I think this is kind of cool. That they're letting this. As for Twitter, they're going to give you the ability to post videos and screenshots on Twitter at a later date. Players will also be able to share their controller with viewers while streaming on Mixer, Microsoft's live streaming platform. Viewers will be able to use either an on-screen or physical controller to play a streamer's game while watching it on their PC. So.
This is similar to the PS4 SharePlay thing. So, I don't know. I've never used SharePlay. This is a cool feature, I guess, but it's one of those features that somebody somewhere is going to need at some point, and they'll be like, "Oh, I'm glad it's there," but who's going to use it?
Yeah. Jesse, what do you think of this?
Yeah, it's it's obviously it's for someone, and this is just more, in my opinion, it's just more things to just show that, they're constantly trying to make the experience, as good as it can get, and try to update things and, just make it easier for people to, play the games they want to play. So, it's good.
you remember when Nintendo kind of did it, but they let the AI play your game and got you to the end of the level if you have problems. Get in there.
Yeah, especially in new Super Mario Brothers and stuff like that.
Yeah. Oh, so is that something more recent? Because I don't know if I've ever experienced
the Wii U had a lot of games that did it.
Yeah. Oh, okay. That's why I haven't experienced it. Then probably just because I haven't.
Yeah, because on Wii, they would if you died a lot of times, in New Super Mario Brothers, they would give you a hat that you could just fly across. But on Wii U, at points if you couldn't, if the level was just too difficult, you'd be able to let the game play itself, and it would pass the level for you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, but yeah, cool things to see. I want to see how the Twitter thing works. So we'll see in the future when it releases this spring. We don't have a date for it. But if you are one of the Xbox insiders, you have it now. Hopefully people are reporting that good things are coming out from it. So we'll see. We're going to move on to the next story, that State of Decay 2 won't have microtransactions. It seems that the date... The date and price for this game has been released, and developer Undead Labs has made another announcement that the game won't have microtransactions. The team mentioned the detail during a live stream discussing the first gameplay details shown off by IGN when the story came out. When asked about whether the game would have microtransactions, the developer said they have no plans to include them in the game. However, because the game is currently priced at $30, they did say that they may have plans for paid expansion packs down the road. While this isn't the first time the company has made the statement, the affirmation of it is good to see in light of the reduced price tag. So, I think me and you talked about this, Jesse. Were we planning to get State of Decay 2?
Yeah, I mean, I'll be getting it because I have the expansion pass, the
first
game
one?
pass.
Okay.
But yeah, and from what I hear though, if you buy it physically, I think is it if you buy it physically or if you reserve a copy of it, you get a copy of the first one with it? Or something like that? Or maybe it's a bundle. There's like the one that comes with the season pass or something like that. You get both of them. It's like a difference of $20, I think.
Okay. So the game comes in a standard edition priced at $29.99 and an ultimate edition at $49.99. The ultimate edition allows players to access the game early on May 18th and includes the original game, State of Decay Year 1 Survival Edition. On Xbox One, the State of Decay 2 DLC packs Independence and Daybreak with that's going to have to be determined release date. So I think if you get the ultimate package for $50, you do get the other game. So yeah,
which I suggest if people don't have it and they're like interested in getting this one to play the first one because it is a lot of fun.
I think I have it for Xbox One, State of Decay.
Okay, yeah, because it's still like my favorite, like of that genre of the like survival, because it's not like. Because let's face it, I'm really picky when it comes to survival games. And, like, it's really got to offer, a lot of stuff. And, like, I hate when you start running into, like, where you have to go places and constantly be eating food in order to, like, stay alive or whatever. Like, when it gets to be too much, I'm not really a big fan of that.
Well, let me tell you about a game that would not be for you, Jesse. In a little game Konami put out recently called Metal Gear Survive.
Ooh. No. Yeah, I know. I've been looking at so much into that game, and like I said on Facebook, I think the only real survival aspect of that game is how long you're gonna last playing it.
Not even
Fair.
that. How long will you be able to handle a save state?
Yeah, it just. Nothing about that game sounds good, and I'll be honest, I don't know how they thought it would be, how anyone could have looked at that game and said, it's done. It's time to put it out. Yeah, it's just, I don't know. Usually there's at least something about a game that I could like, but I'm really finding it hard to find anything about that game that I like.
Yeah.
But but State of Decay is like, it's more more like your Dead Rising and things like that, where it's like all about just having fun in the environment and building things and and it's kind of, I guess it would kind of, you could almost consider it rogue type in a way, because you, like, when you die with a character, you restart as someone else. Like, that character, stays dead. Mm-hmm. You don't have just one character.
It's more permadeath than a roguelike, because you still, like, if you go find the dead body of your previous character, you get all that stuff back, and like the progress of the game still continues. I played a little bit of it. I thought it was an interesting concept, but the first version on 360 that they put out was just janky. It was
Yeah. It was kind of. I played it, and I kind of had a hard time with it too, and I didn't play it a whole lot. But once they had the newer version and updated everything, and then I played it a little then, but then by that time they released it for Xbox One, and then I ended up playing it there. So I think I only paid like $5 or $10 for it, because I think they had a deal going where if you bought it on 360, you only had to pay like a little bit of money and you could get it for Xbox One. So.
Oh, okay. Well, we're gonna move on because Corey and Jesse got to play this for Squad Goals, and you guys will have to check it out and just watch.
Don't watch. It was bad. I suck.
Don't say nothing, but watch. Fortnite is getting crossplay on Xbox One, PC, Mac, and iOS. Epic Games did announce that this game was going to mobile platforms, and it's coming to Android also later on in the few months. But if you own the game on Xbox, PC, Mac, and iOS, everybody will be able to crossplay. Unfortunately, you won't be able to cross with PS4, but if you are a PlayStation 4 viewer and you have the PlayStation 4 version, you will be able to cross-play with PC, Mac, and iOS and Android. But you guys cannot cross-play with Xbox One.
How do you even do that? Where does that circle end and begin? How does that even work? I don't know.
And everybody know that the little fiasco where Sony and Xbox One players was able to cross-play with each other. But it got nacked when they caught it.
Oops.
It was too positive of an experience for Sony. They couldn't have that.
So with this coming to PC, Mac, and iOS, can this game be on Switch? Yes, this is not a Nintendo podcast, but this kind of shows that this game can be on Switch, and
it's Xbox coming eventually.
One, it's
coming. I bet it'll be out this summer. That game is too big for them not to try to put it on Switch. And now that it's on like mobile phones and everything, like there's no way that game's not coming.
Right, because I think Xbox One players and Switch players would love to cross-play with each other.
I honestly think they're just waiting for because that game is technically free to play. I mean, the Save the World stuff isn't right now, but that game's going to be free to play, and I think you're going to need a little bit better online infrastructure for that. And I think maybe they're waiting to see what Nintendo's online structure is like. But after that, after that online infrastructure is out and they know how to use it, that game's coming.
Yeah. Ooh, maybe that might be a E3 fall game.
Maybe. I mean, it could be.
Reveal?
It could be. I mean, maybe Nintendo doesn't have quote early access stuff available, and maybe they're just waiting for the 1.0.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Is maybe they're just waiting for the full game, once it's considered to be a full part of Fortnite. Maybe that's when they'll hopefully do physical copies.
Do you think that Fortnite on Switch, the building aspect, you could use Splatoon kind of weapons and the clothes and stuff for your character if you want to do Battle Royale? Can you see some kind of exclusive amiibo accessory being on Switch?
Maybe. Maybe.
If anything, I'd see. Oh, nah.
I mean, I think Nintendo would do whatever they can to get that game on Switch, just because Nintendo gets 30% of everything that they sell, and that game is huge. So
I would like to see a Donkey Kong inspired map.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Or you could just construct giant barrels or mine carts.
Oh, okay.
And then, because you know how in Fortnite right now you can one of the things you can get is a bush thing that you wear, so you can hide in and just make it look like you're just a bush sitting somewhere. And in that one, you could have like the Donkey Kong barrel and just be walking underneath it and then just stop somewhere.
Okay, we're gonna say that for like Power Block. We'll have another discussion for that one. But yeah, it's good that this is happening. There is no definite date for it, but we shall see later on in the year in this announcement. Maybe at E3 we'll probably hear something about it. We're going to get into our last story. Unfortunately, this is all kind of a downer in a way. Mass Effect 2 lead writer Capuchon leaves BioWare again. Back in June, BioWare fans rejoiced when Drew Capuchon, the lead writer for Mass Effect and Mass Effect 2, revealed that he had returned to BioWare to work on the company's new shooter, Anthem. Capuchon had originally departed from the company between Mass Effect 2 and 3 to focus on writing a novel trilogy. After critically disappointing Andromeda, many took this to mean that the company would get back on track when it came to creating enthralling universes and beloved characters. Capuchon announced on his personal site that he's leaving the company to pursue a number of other projects, including more original novels, an original sci-fi graphic novel. He's co-creating and freelancing also for some gaming work. Capuchon also mentioned he's not leaving games entirely and has something in the works with Fogbank Entertainment. The press release for the company's announcement say that Fogbank is dedicated to building narrative games that focus on branching storylines and player agency. Capuchon's departure follows in the wake of a high number of BioWare talent leaving the studio, including Dragon Age creative director Mike Laidlaw, studio general manager Aaron Flynn, Andromeda lead writer Chris Schleff, Dragon Age lead writer David Gator, and Andromeda senior development director Chris Wynn.
So. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure all the writing for Anthem is practically done. And their writing team can just adjust things depending on what that game is going to be. And writers don't really have a space for game in a space where like games as a service, like they aren't really. It's sad, but they aren't really needed past like, okay, here's what we want the campaign to be like, but the end game is where the game's really going to start. And like, you look at games like The Division or Destiny, or even stuff like Fortnite or Rainbow Six. Like Rainbow Six doesn't really have a story, right? There's just situations and stuff you can take on, but writers aren't really a key part of AAA games as a service anymore, and it shows in a lot of games, and it's sad. I'm sure whatever writing is in Anthem, which I'm sure will be more story heavy than most of the games of service we've gotten, just because it's a BioWare game. But having that multiplayer aspect and that open world aspect and that games as a service aspect probably doesn't give him the creative freedom that he had with something like Mass Effect or Dragon Age or older BioWare titles. And so like he wants to go be creative. Let him go be creative. Let him write a book. Let him work with indie studios to tell a good story. Let him, maybe one day he'll lead his own studio that will fill a single A style developer space like THQ did, and THQ Nordic is kind of doing now. Like, it's sad to see him go, but at the rate EA's shifting studios around and trying to make games as a service their thing, like, it's probably better that he leaves so he can go be creative somewhere else and allow this game to, maybe go without him.
Yeah. What's your thoughts, Jesse?
Yeah, I mean, that's I kind of go back to something we had mentioned in the past where, like a lot of these changes and these issues that, people have been having with EA and stuff. And we know that, a lot of the times if certain game developers are part of something that doesn't do it well, they tend to like to just get rid of them. And so I don't know, maybe he foresees, they also foresee something that might be happening, that they just want to get ahead of it. I don't know for sure, but yeah, I mean, with writers, unfortunately, like Corey said, you do have a lot of games where the story doesn't end up being as much of a driving force as it used to be. Before we really had multiplayer and stuff like that. That's basically all a game was about, was trying to drive a good story, because that was the main reason that you bought that game, was for the story. But now so many people like to be more social with gaming, and so story doesn't always matter as much. And the thing is I don't think they're going to have any trouble finding somewhere else to go to do what they want to do. Right. That's the nice thing. I mean, the gaming industry is like one of the biggest industries that we have, as far as, like the money that they pull in. Yeah. So I just, it's always a bummer, because, a lot of people do like BioWare. It's a bummer that means that they might not have the story writing power that they used to. But, and at the same time, it could be good, because, who knows where they go. It might, better someone that we like that isn't necessarily known for stories, and make their story parts of their games better. So I guess we'll just have to see, where they go. So it would be something to to keep contact with, and read up on, and hopefully find something that suits what he's looking to do. So, or what they're looking to do, I should say.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what he has planned for the future, and we'll see how Elfto turns out when EA decides to show more and release the game. So that's been our Arsenal news, and now we're going to get to our Arsenal exchange. And I presented to Jesse and Corey 3 choices that they would like to do. Would you guys like to tackle last week's question? Because we didn't actually get into last week's question, because we was having a different discussion, which was really good. Do you guys want to touch on Valve making games again, or do you guys have a personal topic that you guys like to talk about, like something that's been on your mind about video games, movies, entertainment, or just anything? What did you guys feel like having this discussion about?
It doesn't matter. We can tackle anything. We can talk about Valve if you guys want, because I know a lot of people are interested in Valve and what they're going to try to bring to the table now that they said they're going to start developing games again.
Yeah, I was thinking about talking about that too, probably, because like with last week's question, we kind of just were more so going to talk about that speech with Phil Spencer, right?
Yes. Talking about adjusting the culture and stuff like that, which everybody, if you haven't seen it, do check it out. It was a really good speech from DICE, from Phil Spencer. It's like 45 minutes, so guys check that out for it. So let's jump into the discussion about Valve games. So Gabe Newell announced that Valve has decided to come back to making games, and one of the inspirations for it was Nintendo. How he said that how they could make hardware and software, coexist and work together, which pretty been Nintendo's like business for years. So don't know why he acting like this is brand new, but probably because of the success of the Nintendo Switch, that it kind of reinvigorated him to make games. So what does this speak about for Valve making games? We know they have a platform, which is Steam. So will Valve be making games for consoles, and most of the games will show up on Xbox and PC, or are we very hesitant of what Valve is going to release, or how they're going to get back into this industry? I should say.
I was reading it, and like, how they mention with Nintendo and what Nintendo's been doing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know if it's just me like reading it wrong, because I mean, like, thinking about it, I don't know that it would be a good move. But at the same time, the way it's worded, they make it sound like they literally want to not only make games again, but like make their own system, like their own console, like something that they can spec their games to. Because like, just the way it's worded, that's what it seems like they're hinting at. Like, they want to make their own console and have the games built specifically to that console. Like Nintendo does, like that. Like, everything they say makes it sound that way, and maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah, I think we're going to see the return of the Steam machines, but it's going to be like a Steam Machine 2.0, and Valve's actually going to give a crap about it, and they're going to try to do what Nintendo does and be like, we're making a console that fits the games we want to make, and then if third parties want to support us, they can spec to our console instead of us trying to cater to them. Which is, I mean, to be honest, that's what Nintendo does. We saw consoles not developed for Nintendo because of their specs, and now we see when their system's popular, we see them quote unquote dumbing down their games to run on the console. You look at Doom, you look at Wolfenstein, you look at LA Noire, you look at Skyrim. Like, all these games were ported to Switch not because they're the best looking, but because the Switch is popular. And so if Valve can pull that off and be like, look, we're making Half-Life 3, but it's going to be exclusive to our box that we want to spec for. And, maybe it's a different type of box than Xbox and PlayStation, where it's modular, you can take it apart, you can add to it, whatever. But if they can be like, look, we're making our own box, these are the games that we want to put on it, and maybe there's a Steam store on there that's like, hey, you can play your Steam library here also, but we want to put our games on this box or on Steam, and this is where they're going to live. They're not going to live on PlayStation and Xbox like previous generations. It's our system and it's our games.
Well, I have a fear, and it's good that you mentioned that, Corey, because I have a fear that with knowing Valve's track record of making games and delivering them, I don't think they should make a console, because I now have the fear of the Ouya happening to them. Valve also doesn't have the deep library that Nintendo does. Nintendo has studios upon studios that make games. They put out even in their slow times, they probably put out or at least publish probably at least 12 games a year at least. Valve has 5-6 intellectual properties to their name, maybe. And let's see, Half-Life, Left 4 Dead, Portal, Dota, Artifact, I guess, but that's separate, I guess. I don't know. Counter-Strike. I mean, that's what, 6? And Team Fortress.
And Team Fortress 7. Okay, so I mean, they have enough stuff that will appeal to everybody, but like Team Fortress is their hero shooter, which can go up against Overwatch. Counter-Strike is their military shooter that can go up against Call of Duty. Half-Life is their storytelling game that can go up against something like Metroid or Metro, or a storytelling first-person shooter. Most of Bethesda stuff, actually, I would probably put that up against. They've got Portal, which is everybody loves Portal. Left 4 Dead, which can be their games as a service, like multiplayer games as a service, and then Dota, which prints money, ungodly amounts of money.
Well, the reason why I say that, Valve, they got 6-7 IPs, but when they release one IP, it's like it takes years to get that game developed and out the door.
Yeah, it's like Blizzard. It's like what Blizzard does. Like they take 10, 12, 15 years to produce a sequel to some of their franchises sometimes.
Yeah. And it's kind of weird to like, is Valve going to make 2-3 other studios now and make new IPs?
I mean, they could. I mean, they could. They very well possibly could invest all that Steam money into like 3 or 4 studios, like, satellite studios, and they start making new IP. They open a studio that does Half-Life and some other things, and like they can have a small team internally do Portal. I mean, you look at their games, you look at Portal, that game is the closest thing to a Nintendo games in terms of reusing assets, distributing art around the world. And like you download Portal 1, and I know it's only like a 3-hour game, but that game is like, it's only like 1 gig. Like, Portal is an extremely small game, and that's because of their smart asset usage, So
yeah,
I don't know. I just really want Portal on Switch.
Yeah,
I would love to see Portal 1 and 2 come to Switch at some point.
Me too.
Well, I think it would be good for Valve to continue some series, introduce some new series, build this team up. Like, I was talking to Corey and Larry on World 1-1, and I was just like, as long as Valve has been in this business, they should have had 35 titles at least to their name already. But they're not the kind of company that wants to release a game almost every year, like different games, like be able to schedule it out. And I talked about the Source engine. I don't know how far they're using that system or anything, or if they're developing a new one. Valve just happens to, I guess, take their time. With people leaving Valve and going to other companies, a lot of people are kind of worried about what's going on at Valve themselves. So to hear that them announcing that they're making games again may brought some joy to some people.
Well, but another thing too, though, if they're gonna start making games again, they can start restructuring in house and be like, okay, well, the old guard is out. Let's bring in some fresh ideas. Let's bring in an innovative younger team to say, hey, they grew up playing Half-Life. Maybe they can throw us some ideas of like, what do they want to see in a Half-Life sequel? What do they want to see in a Portal sequel? How do we, evolve Left 4 Dead? They could bring in that younger crowd who played those games and loved those games growing up and be like, how do we change it up? How do we make it feel fresh? How do we take advantage of some hardware that, maybe the old guard just, not that they couldn't do it, but like maybe they were, once you start getting older, you get stuck in your ways and stuck like, I want to do it this way because this is how we've always done it. Where like some younger teams could be more ambitious, more, I don't know.
Well, it seems that the old developers, most of the old well-known developers at Valve has left. So it seems that they're going to be new members, new young, fresh talent and blood. It's just sad that some of the old veterans are not there to guide them. Kind of like what, once again, like Nintendo does. We have Miyamoto, we have all those people in their place, and they're letting these new people that we don't recognize design their games, put their spin on it. Because like Miyamoto said, like, we're not going to be here forever, so we need to be able to trust our IPs to these young kids or these developers and let them create and continue what the Nintendo brand has always been about. Go ahead, Jesse.
And it's kind of who knows, it could be the same situation that Bungie was in, where they just kind of wanted to do something else. Like, how do we know that these people who originally made, these games like Half-Life and stuff, because they did take so long for them to come out with another one, how do we know that they even really wanted to continue doing that and maybe wanted to be doing something else anyways? So like it would be like basically like having the Bungie situation with Halo happen, and you have a new team that basically takes over and freshens it up and tries to stay true to its the original story or game, and just basically, give us a fresh new look at the, the worlds that were started by them. So
A lot of to answer that, a lot of people feel that Valve didn't conclude Half-Life, and them not concluding Half-Life and introducing Half-Life to these episodes and not conclude that, it's kind of work. It gives people a little bit worried, just like, well, Bunch, you finished Halo 1 through 3. You got that trilogy, you got that first Halo story. It's done with. You don't even have to play Halo 4 or 5 if you don't want to. But the main trilogy that the series has been about is there. A lot of people feel like Valve has just not turned their backs, but they lost that inspiration on continue to make games and actually completing something. Because why would you give a series and you got money to make a third one, but you didn't finish that series, and you introduced a side series in a way and didn't finish that neither?
Yeah.
So that might bring concern to a lot of people. Be like, well, great that you guys are making games, but are you going to finish the ones that you gave us beforehand? You could get the young talent. They could play Half-Life 1 and 2. They could go to good old games on Steam and play this. Now, with all this information, do they create from there to finish it, or are you not going to let them finish it? And just let Half-Life stay on a cliffhanger?
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. That's definitely a hurdle that they would have to leap over. Moving forward, is they're gonna have to, these games that they do release are gonna have to be really good to, to prove that they're still, still doing, those games just as good as they did before. Because just because so many people have left, and because we don't exactly know who's doing what anymore, they're definitely going to have to prove themselves. So it's definitely people will probably be kind of cautious at first, but
I think for Xbox players, if Valve decides to put their product on the system, I think a lot of Xbox players would be like, we want a video game. We don't want the Dota card. We don't want Dota at all. We want the video games that you made. The first person shooter, half the Left 4 Dead, like Portal and stuff. Like those games felt like a video game to a lot of console owners. So Xbox players will expect that to be there. If people want the Dota games, they'll play it on PC, and they'll play it with a mouse and keyboard controller, whatever they feel like. But they want that their video game console wants to have a video game console experience. So their game has to be like a video game, like Titanfall 2 or Grand Theft Auto or something. Like they want that experience because kind of that's what makes the system. And hopefully for some people, they feel like hopefully Valve doesn't get away from that if they're going to be bringing in these new games.
Yeah, and that's the thing that like we talked in the past of that rumor of Microsoft buying Valve and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
I just going back on kind of that, it really is a shame like that they couldn't even if Microsoft didn't buy them, but them work together, because the majority, I'd say probably like 98% of the people who own a Microsoft or own an Xbox, most of those people are like, a lot of them are PC gamers, and like they've or started out as PC gamers and then kind of evolved to getting an Xbox when that came out.
Mm-hmm.
And so a lot of the people that are going to have the most interest in those games that Valve made are going to be the people on Xbox. Like those are the kind of games that sell on Xbox, even now. So it would be kind of a bummer if they didn't get those games that they're making, if they did go the route of making their own box. but I guess we'll see exactly what happens, but yeah, it would be a bummer. I think they would be missing out on making a lot of money by not bringing it to Xbox. So,
okay. Well, last part of this question, and Corey, I'm going to ask you first. What do you hope to see Valve bring to Xbox? If they decide to bring a game, what do you hope they bring to the system?
Let's see. I know I'm in the minority of the general gaming audience, but I don't really have a ton of affinity for Valve. Like I just don't. I never got into Half-Life, never got into Counter-Strike, never got into, on World War I, I've never really played Portal before either, which that's the only game that I'm super interested in playing. I actually just downloaded them on my Xbox yesterday.
Yes.
For just to stream or play on something, and if I was to say anything, probably Portal, or I know a lot of people love Left 4 Dead, so I would love to see something multiplayer come as well, just because I feel like that the multiplayer stuff fits on Xbox, where I don't know, maybe they'll surprise us all and get an Orange Box 3 where every single thing in the Orange Box is the third game in the entry, like Half-Life 2 Episode 3, Half-Life 3, Portal 3, Left 4 Dead 3, Team Fortress 3. Maybe we'll just get all the 3s in one box. But Portal would probably be, if I had to pick one game of theirs, Portal's always been the most interesting to me. So,
okay.
Portal.
Jesse, what one game would you like to see, or what would you like to see Valve bring to the Xbox?
Sorry, I'm trying to keep my energy up. I'm just tired. It's been a long day.
I know. I'm sorry. You did that, and I called it and just bust out laughing.
If you want to find out what I just did, go over to youtube.com/ngrradio and find out.
Let me stay professional. Jesse, what is something that you would like to see from Valve?
Yeah, this is a no-brainer. It's definitely Portal. I love Left 4 Dead. Mm-hmm. It's a really fun zombie style game. I've played both of those quite a bit. But Portal, it always draws me back. I always go back and play Portal. I have them on my Xbox One and stuff, and I have the original, on my 360, or both of them on my 360. And, they're just games that I can play whenever, and I really don't get sick of it. And I even bought that bridge construction game. Something I normally don't really care about, but just the humor of Portal and all the stuff that it brings to that game, made it that uninteresting enough for me to pick it up. So, because that's what that's what Portal is it's just complete humor. It you're having fun, you're laughing while solving some very at times sophisticated puzzles that take some time to really think about. And I tend to like those kind of games, with where you have the hard puzzles. Braid's another game that I would compare to Portal. That's very takes a lot of thinking and planning to try to figure it out. So I definitely, it would have to be Portal though, but because Counter-Strike, all those games, I've played them, but specifically Counter-Strike, that game is too PC driven. It's no one I don't think would really want to play that game with a controller. It seems to be that kind of shooter game that you really want to use a keyboard and mouse for. So I mean, you do have Xbox possibly supporting that in the future or whatever, whenever that's going to happen. I still don't know what's going on with that, but yeah, Portal all the way.
Okay. For me, last of all, I kind of going to go out the box craziness with this one. Just follow me. I know I'm weird and I'm different. I would love to see them mix Gravity Rush and the action of DMC together. Like literally, like when you knock up in the air, you jump up with them, and it turns the gameplay into Gravity Rush.
That was not your question.
I said, what would you like to see from Valve? It don't have to be a game. It could be something completely different. Like, what would you like to see them do? If they're going to make a video game, what would you like to see them do? I would love them to try mixing two different genres of games and make something crazy. If they were all about physics with Half-Life, then let's see your physics and how you would do Gravity Rush if you was dealing with that. But you know how to do action in a first-person shooter or deal with guns. But let's see you do melee combat. Let's see what happens if you do mix them together. What does it become? 4-player co-op. You got a strong online structure. You know how to do that. So how would that play out? How would you guys design that game and mix those two? The Gravity Rush for physics and air, and DMC Devil May Cry with action and button combinations. Like, how do they play out? And go from there. It could be 2D, sprite based. It could have a different art style, flash. What would I would love to see them go out and do a different genre, but I would love to see them combine that together. Like, throw everybody off and make them interesting, make that intriguing. To be like, what is your spin on this? And it might not work, but it might if I give it a try and study it. Why not?
Why not? Because Gravity Rush is owned by Sony.
But make a style in that.
Boom.
Gameplay.
Gotcha.
Look. We don't have to have that.
Distraction.
Dang it. And it worked. So, but that's going to be all for Arsenal X. What do you guys think about Valve coming back to making games? Would you like to see a Portal game? Would you like to see my crazy idea work? You guys can email the show at arsenalxpodcast@gmail.com. You can check our squad goals on Saturdays at 10 a.m. You can also check out Nintendo Power Blog World 11 and all our other podcasts at nerdsgonerogueradio.com or Nerds Gone Rogue Radio on YouTube. We would love to get your questions for expansion pack, so you guys can email us your thoughts, your questions and stuff at Arsenal X Podcast. When you do send them out, just put expansion pack. Make sure that the X is on there, and then put the word expansion pass. We would like to get your guys questions and answer them. So with that, everybody, I want to thank my good fellow boss man Corey Dirrig and my wife's Wisconsin tonight, Mr. Jesse Douglas. We're gonna throw up the echo time. I have been your host, Eddie D. And with that, everybody, we are out. Peace. Bye.